Hello everybody, welcome to the Redmen TV. It is the starting 11 prediction show. It's Midland, it's Liverpool, it's the Champions League, it's a dead rub, it's a complete waste of everybody's time, but we are here to predict Jurgen Klopp's starting 11, and today we are sponsored by OneFootball. It is your one-stop football app for everything that you need, whether that's videos, whether that's stats, whether that's anything around the matches, injury news, all that type of stuff. It's all in the OneFootball app, and you can download that app by clicking the link in the description. You can turn on push notifications if you want. Certainly it's good for, if like me, you play fantasy footy and all that type of stuff, and you want to just see how other players and other teams are doing, who their goal scorers are and assists and everything else. So it's great for that. You can turn them off. It's up to you. You can use the app however you want. You can follow teams, you can follow leagues, and it's really good. So get involved. Thank you to OneFootball for backing us throughout lockdown and continuing to back us. And if you could back them by clicking the link and downloading the app and checking it out for yourself, that would be greatly appreciated. But as I mentioned, we are here to predict Jurgen Klopp's starting 11 in this game, and it's a tough one for us, isn't it, really? Because although we want to rest players, there is not so many players available that we can just have a completely revamped 11, I don't think. And the way Jurgen was speaking in his press conference and stuff like that, and the fact that Kelleher was there alongside him, makes you think that Kelleher will be the goalie. So we'll start there, actually. We're just going to throw Caoimhín Kelleher in goal, in nets. Two great performances from him, and we're looking to see a third on the bounce and a third in a week from him. Now, left back is a position that I would absolutely be changing, and I expect Klopp to play Kostas Tsimikas in this game for a couple of reasons. One, he needs minutes, and two, Andy Robertson needs time off. He's played more minutes than any Liverpool player so far this season, therefore Tsimikas comes in. Now the centre-backs, this is one where I've gone that Jurgen's going to rotate, and it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't. It would annoy me if he didn't. To be honest, because, you know, Fabinho, Matip, they're the only centre-backs that we've got fit and available at the moment, and you kind of don't need to play them in these games. So I'm going to go with two youngsters in this. So I'm going to go, first of all, Billy Koumetio, and then I'm going to go him alongside Reece Williams at centre-back. Now, again, wouldn't surprise me if you were to see one of Fabinho or Matip play, and if it is going to be one of them, I'd probably personally take Fabinho in there. Leave me your thoughts as we go along as well, and we'll come to the comments section a little bit later on. And then right back, he's in the thumbnail for a reason. I think Jurgen Klopp plays him for at least 45 minutes in this game. Because of the 5 substitutes, I think that helps Liverpool, because there's a couple of players I think that really helps. Trent Alexander-Arnold is one of them. Whether he starts the game, whether he comes on at half-time, I'd have him starting the game personally, put him in alongside Reece Williams. So we're slightly weak here at centre-half, a couple of experienced players around the outside of them. Hopefully they can protect a little bit. Now the midfield's a really tough area because, you know, are we going to get the likes of Jay Kane, Leighton Clarkson, all that type of stuff? Probably not. So I'm going to go that Gini needs a rest. So for a start, Gini's not going to be in this midfield 3 because I don't think Fabinho will play there because we're protecting him because he's one of our only fit centre-halves. I think that Jordan Henderson slots back into the 6. I'm going to say that Naby Keita, much like Trent Alexander-Arnold, I mentioned there was a second player that I'd play for 45 minutes. Naby Keita is that player. I would have him 45 minutes only, 60 if he can do it, something like that. Maybe get him a few minutes at the weekend if the game's going according to plan against Fulham. And I'd have him alongside Curtis Jones. Now, Curtis Jones is sort of, he's being moulded, isn't he, into this sort of Gini Wijnaldum style player at the moment. And with no Gini, I expect to see Curtis Jones in there. Although, you know, Curtis played a lot of minutes himself, and maybe you want to protect him. I just don't know how you could do that. You could drop Minamino back in. Obviously, if Shaqiri was fit, maybe he could come in there, something like that. But as I say, I can't imagine that Clarkson and Kane are going to get games in, get minutes in this game unless maybe they come on if Liverpool are in a strong position. So I'm going to go with quite a strong midfield 3 of Henderson, Keita and Jones. On the right-hand side, I'm going to go, left-hand side, I'm going to go Divock Origi because he needs minutes, absolutely needs minutes. Now, I've gone left-hand side rather than forward, and I'll explain that as we go along. On the right-hand side, I'll go Diogo Jota after having, you know, most of the game off against his former club in Wolves. And up front, I'd go with a false 9, I'd go with Minamino. So you could quite easily sort of, I don't know, you could quite easily play Minamino on the right-hand side, Jota on the left-hand side, Divock Origi up top like that. But I don't think we're going to get the best out of Divock Origi there. Not that you do on the left-hand side either, if I'm perfectly honest. I think he suits more of a two up top type of formation. But anyway, that's the way that I've got it. Let me know your front three, your midfield three, your back four in the comment sections while I get on to some of the substitutes. So first and foremost, I think Adrian is going to be on the bench. I'm going to put Andy Robertson on there as well. I'm going to put Nico Williams, Fabinho, Joel Matip, although you don't want to have to use any of those players. I'm going to go Gini Wijnaldum, go Mo Salah, Oxlade-Chamberlain, back in training. Too soon for him? Yeah, probably too soon for him. Good point, everybody. Sadio Mane and Roberto Firmino. And then I'm going to go out and get, look, I don't know how many subs you're allowed, but let's go with 10, Clarkson, Kane, and probably just for good measure, a little bit of Jaros, the third choice keeper, as it is at the moment. So I think, again, I can't see these two lads getting minutes unless we're winning the game. I think he does probably come on 45. Nico, and replaces Trent Alexander-Arnold. Then if you are replacing Naby Keita, maybe that's an option for one of the youngsters, or maybe he puts Fabinho in the middle and moves Jordan Henderson into that 8. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to look into some of the comments and stuff now. Emmanuel Corti, I would expect Hendo and maybe Jones to be rested with Clarkson and Kane playing at least some of this one. Backline and front three is spot on. Yeah, again, you know, that's where I'm probably most unsure. I think that's a good back four. I think that's got a chance of Klopp picking that back four just because we do want to rest Matip and Fabinho, as I've already mentioned. I think the front three, that's as good a front three as we're going to see, I guess. Unless he does play Salah, but yeah, I can't see it. I wouldn't anyway. So I kind of agree with you, and then maybe some minutes for the young lads if the game state allows for it. Rest Kelleher for the Premier League, says Rayhar. That's an interesting one, isn't it? But you can't live in fear of injuries all the time. He's a 22-year-old lad. He plays in goal. Like, he should be able to get through a midweek game. And the fact, as I mentioned, the Klopp took him to the press conference and stuff like that, and he answered questions, says to me that he's going to start. Although I could understand the reason for Adrian. You know, personally, I said it on the Uncensored Match build-up show. Adrian, you know, he's been good. You know, the fact that he's been working with Kelleher, was pleased for Kelleher, said that to Kelleher. Maybe there's a little nod to Adrian in there somewhere like that. Daniel Music, I've just answered that question. I suppose he's on the bench. Star Clarkson, Rest Jones, said Burrell. Yeah, could do. It's just he hasn't done before, so that's why I've gone with that midfield three. When do you think Thiago will be match fit, says Num, lads? By all accounts, it's going to be the new year for Thiago, and that's when he comes back into the side. So match fit, maybe I'm reading too much into that, but February, maybe, something like that. The game is meaningless anyways, Kaiser. You're right, it absolutely is meaningless, but it's not meaningless for him. It's not meaningless for him. It's not meaningless for him. And it's not meaningless for these two, or Kelleher, or these, because these lads need minutes. You know, we've been lucky so far, fortunate one might say, that we've had no injuries to the front three, touch wood, that is wood, excellent. No, it's not, it's metal, it's magnetised, shit. Shit, wood. There we go, touch wood, the front three have been okay. But if we do get some type of an injury, then you want these lads to have played at least some minutes. You know, Minamino in that false nine, can we see a little bit more out of him? We want to see a little bit more out of him. It's equally important for Tsimikas and Trent Alexander-Arnold to get some much needed minutes in their legs as well. Trent midfielder to rest. Hendo, Nico right back, Jake Harries with the big shout. Right, okay. So we're just going to throw Trent in there. Get Nico Williams in at right back. I mean, it's never going to happen, not in this game. But boy, does it look good, doesn't it? I've never actually put Trent in the midfield there. I actually fancy him there. In that little spot there, you know, pulling wide, whipping balls in if he needs to. But why would you do that? He does all of that right from there. Maybe one day, maybe if Nico Williams proves that, you know, Trent's struggling to keep Nico out the team, then maybe you move Trent into midfield. But right now, he's one of the most creative players in the league, and he's doing it from right back. Until people can stop him, I keep him exactly where he is. Trent centre mid, says Alex2604. Yes. Adrian in goal, Kelleher in midfield. Both-footed player. both-footed player, maybe he could play at the base there. Ping balls left, ping balls right. I've got my left and right confused there, but it is what it is. Let's do it again in a bit. Fabinho and Matip both play 45 minutes each. That's a very good one, MG Halatun. That is a good shout, actually. And then maybe... yeah, maybe you're putting something like Fabinho in there for the first 45, and then maybe you're taking him out and putting Matip on for Cometti or something like that. But again, I think that you've got to rest those centre-halves. I would anyway. I said before, you can't live in fear of injuries, and maybe that's exactly what I'm doing. But so what? I'm allowed to just talk shit and put players on boards. I'm allowed to. It's what I do best. Minamino plays wide, says Oliver Price. What side do you think you prefer him on? Because I think we've seen him in all three of the front positions, really, haven't we? I'd like Jota on the left in a best case scenario. So if Origi is playing through the middle, maybe Minamino plays through that right-hand side there, and Jota's able to cut inside on that right foot. Although Jota seems to be equally adept at both the left wing and the right wing, or centre forward. To be fair, he doesn't seem to be picky or choosy. He just seems to be pretty boss. And he's also our Champions League top goal scorer. So maybe... actually, you just throw him up front and go, Jota, go. Score some goals, mate. Yeah? Yeah. Why not? But again, I think you're probably going to get the best out of Divock Origi in the 9, so that's why I've gone with that. Clarkson, change Hendo. Okay, I understand that. Kane to start as Darren Mitchell. Could start Shaqiri, Michael McGuinness. I don't think he's fit available, but you could start him, but it's probably not good for us. If I'm Klopp, the last thing I do before I fly out to Denmark is tuck Marnie into bed with a loving kiss on the forehead. I like your style. Yeah, I could quite happily get behind that. Where's Nat Phillips as Daniel Music? Nat Phillips isn't in the Champions League squad, unfortunately, is he? I think that will be rectified as we go into the latter stages of the competition, as long as you can still do that. It used to be a thing, didn't it? So as long as you can still do that. DJ Shenanigans is surprised you're still married if your best work is putting pictures on a board. Oh yeah, you know, when the lads go home, me and the wife come in here and I'm like, whoa, look at this, babe. Oh, and she's like, oh, and it's lovely. Jones not in training. Oh dear. Ox back in full training. Yes, he is. I think it's slightly too soon for him for this game. Salah wants his Champions League golden boot. That's fine. He can take it off Diogo. Diogo will give it to him in exchange for a Premier League winners medal, and I'm sure we'll be absolutely fine with that. Whew, no Trent or Hendo, get Origi, centre-back, says Graham Thorpe. Dagsy, start Bobby, could be a game to get some goals. It's just so tough at the moment, isn't it? Because I think it's very easy to get sucked in to just throw loads of lads in. But like even Henderson, let's say, and Kurt Jones, right? I've put them in and I don't really want them in this side, if I'm honest. I think it's a dead rub and just throw as many youngsters in as you possibly can, but I don't think Klopp will. So, you know, again, that's where me and him would differ. I would get the young lads in and just go, whew, this lad needs minutes, that lad needs minutes, everyone else, just get the youngsters in, apart from maybe these two as well, actually thinking about it. But Henderson and Jones, like, if they play more than 45, then they're probably going to have to play 90 on Sunday against Fulham, and then they're probably going to have to play 90 against Tottenham. So maybe there's an option where you go, well, actually, okay, Henderson came off early the other day, didn't he? So I think he's probably going to start this game. Maybe he takes the weekend off and comes back fresh for Tottenham, because you don't want to take your eye off the ball with the Fulham game. And again, Kurt Jones, you're just going to ask him to just keep playing until we get lads back. It's a real tightrope walk now for Jurgen and this squad, and managing them and keeping minutes in the legs and getting some lads fit. It's very, very difficult, but it is where we are, and it is 2020, and 2020 in and of itself has been very, very difficult, apart from, you know, winning the league. They made that look pretty easy, to be fair to them. But anyway, that is the Starting 11 prediction show. Thank you to everybody who's watched along. Please drop a like on the video. It really does help us. And if you can help our sponsors today, One Football, by downloading their app, by clicking the link in the description, then I'd thank you forever. Really appreciate it. Me and Paul will be back tomorrow evening at 25 to 5 for the team news reaction, where we find out how wrong I've got it. It's a regular thing. And then we'll be back an hour... Well, no, about 15 minutes before kickoff, so 20 to 6 with the actual live watch along. So yeah, come and join us. Watch Liverpool in the Champions League in a dead rubber. It'll be fun. We'll have tea, we'll have biscuits. It's going to be a great day.